Alright, so my name is Christian Rodriguez again, and legalization of PEDs. My advocates claim that it will be better because it will prevent health hazards because they can regulate the usage of it. Now, as I stated, people are gonna go against these regulations, and so they're gonna do the drugs, and they're gonna exceed the limit, and eventually, maybe there's gonna be so many athletes exceeding it. What are they gonna do? Also, like I said, the athletes are looked upon as from children, and so parents may not allow their children to do these sports, and so these sports can potentially, maybe let's say if it were to be legalized, in 30 or 40 years, it can be even to disappear. And just want to say some things about what my advocate says. So James said that in the Tour de France from 1999 to 2005, there were 20 people that were caught doping. And so from 1999 to 2005, now if you counted all the athletes that were in this competition and there was only 20 caught, then that's only a fraction. That's a very low fraction, and that means that perhaps many of these people were naturally competing to their limits, and this is what people like to see. And also another thing my advocate stated was that we should stop using money to try and find the dopers, but instead use it for the legalization of PED. But the way I would translate this is that let's stop using money on trying to find the cheaters, but invest money into creating more cheaters, as I would say. Because eventually people are going to be playing these games, and these substances are gonna change people. They're almost going to be dehumanized, because the reality is that people are going to have powers that aren't even natural at all, and so it's going to change the sport. So if football has all this more power, kids aren't going to be able to take those beatings, so they're going to have to. It's going to become a whole new sport. And at the start, my advocate Maritza said that she states how the PEDs have harmful effects, and states that there are more positive though, that if it was to be legalized. Now I believe that almost everybody would agree that your health is one of the most important things, and if being under PEDs can potentially even kill you, then should all these athletes be told okay, you can do these drugs? No, many of them are going to abuse them, and we're gonna see a drastic amount of people dying and being in the hospitals. And like I said earlier, for many collegiate and professional athletes, they may not be able to afford these insurance, the insurance and the hospital bills and etc. So yeah, and that can also help to the potential disappearing of many sports. And also how my advocates believe that if we legalize PED, then it'll make it a fair sport, because because right now there's people getting away with it, and so if we legalize it, then everybody will be equal. But the reality is that if we legalize it, it won't make it equal. Because there's always those people who I said they don't like to use these drugs because they know of the health hazards. And so now the people who want to be competing at their natural ability, which is what a lot of people like, these people will have disadvantages. And so these normal people who want to compete in what many would believe would be the correct way of competing naturally, they would have a disadvantage, and they would almost have to be forced to take these EPOs in order to even be able to compete. So me and my advocate said, me and my partner said, we believe that the way that we should keep the law as it is now, and athletes shouldn't be allowed to be taking PEDs, because it will be safer for society, and it will keep the sports that we all love today.